How's everybody doing? Today's video, as you can see, was an unboxing of the Sawtooth M24. Sorry, I had to just pull up the lovely memorable name of ST-M24-SBK, which I'm guessing stands for Sawtooth or ST maybe Strat style. M24 would be Michelangelo Badio 24 fret. SBK for satin black, I'm guessing. Which this guitar is a satin black. So Sawtooth is a brand that I have been skeptical of. And that's mainly because they sort of came onto the scene by putting out these, beginner guitar packs and basically just extremely basic, imported, typically Strat or Tele style stuff, things that are very basic to build. Now this guitar is a bolt-on neck, obviously it's type of a super Strat body style, although actually, I wouldn't even say although. This guitar is fairly inexpensive. This is $270, at least what I paid for it. And that's brand new. The weird thing is, it doesn't have a country of origin or a serial number or a model on here at all. I'm not kidding. I've never seen any guitar come without a serial number. I mean, maybe it has one like in the neck pocket if you were to take it apart or something like that, but or under a pickup or something, but there's no serial number to speak of. There's no model number on here. All it has is the Sawtooth logo, which is just pretty basic, and the S on the truss cover. Although you'll notice here in a second why I actually bought this guitar of all things, because on the back of the headstock, this very guitar is signed by Michelangelo Badio. And that is a Sharpied signature, which is what I was staring at and trying to put it in all these different lighting angles to verify that that is a Sharpie signature. So for all the skepticism that I have had about Sawtooth, Michelangelo Badio is one of my favorite players, not even in the sense that he's a big influence on my playing, because I can't really play anything that he plays, but in the sense that I like his attitude and his approach and his tenacity towards perfecting technique and just pushing the instrument forward. He's one of those people that, I come more from a blues background and I do shred a little bit, but I don't really come anywhere near to the realm that he would be in. So even though this is actually a cheap guitar in the sense that it is designed by Michelangelo Badio, I'm not going to be able to do it any sort of justice. And I don't really necessarily plan to, because this is, for me, more of a collecting experience, to be totally honest. I don't really consider myself to be a guitar collector. I like to make wise purchases, but this is one of those things, being autographed, that I would hope that I can just be the forever home for this guitar and not have to ever worry about selling it or anything like that, because I just like Michelangelo Badio. But I do want to give a review of this guitar coming up, and in the meantime I'm going to tell you my first impressions of this right out of the box. So obviously, being a budget focused guitar, it comes in a guitar box, essentially. That's basically it. Just basically has a neck rest in the box, and it has a warranty registration for a 1-year warranty, and then it has the truss tool, and then probably a bridge saddle height adjusting tool. And this guitar comes with Wilkinson hardware, meaning tuners and tremolo, according to the specs. It is a maple neck with a maple fretboard, so it's not a skunk stripe. It has an actual separate fretboard, which I don't know if you can really see, but it's a separate piece of wood. It has what appears to just be black acrylic inlays in the block style, so sort of styled after a custom or something like that. Obviously it has the satin black finish on the body, and the body is made of sycamore, which I think is a cost-conscious decision. And I have heard Michelangelo Badio play this guitar on live streams on his channel, which go check that out if you haven't already. But this is the first guitar that I've ever not only purchased, but actually ever heard of with a sycamore body. And the body is very, very light. So even though, well, I don't know, maple is not necessarily light, but this guitar is actually neck heavy. So you have a very light body, and if I set it on my lap like this, it's just gonna dive. Although I have a feeling that the strap placement being up on this horn or this cutaway here is going to help with the balance, but if it's just sitting on you, it may want to neck dive. You could obviously just balance it out by putting your arm on it. It's not going to do anything. I mean, it's not like the end of the world type thing. Although it definitely is neck heavy. I mean, it reminds me kind of an SG in that sense. So at this price point, you have the Wilkinson bridge and tuners here, but the electronics are going to be proprietary. I'm actually impressed with the fret ends here. It seems like there's no sharp edges at all. I mean, this is like a very, I mean, you see that? I mean, a lot of inexpensive guitars, this would actually cause you to rub your skin off and probably start bleeding. So right away, I mean, you're in the ballpark of Squire territory of money, and this is going to be drastically better as far as the neck feel and the fret feel. I will say that the 10th fret has some visible corrosion on it, but that's nothing that I can't polish off. I mean, I've even had Gibsons that if you just keep a guitar, you know, ready to ship or in its case for a long time, that it will start to corrode the frets. That's kind of normal. It can easily be polished. It doesn't really have any particular smell to it. Like, it has no smell at all, which is interesting. Usually guitars have some kind of a smell. Actually, it doesn't have any playability issues. It seems like it has just a little bit of neck relief like you would want. And straight out of the box, and you can tell it's been sitting because of the frets, like I said, I'm impressed with the setup on this thing. It has a very nice sort of average to low setup. Actually, there's really no issues with the setup. It's not in tune, obviously, because I just pulled it out of the box, but that is totally playable. So in my mind, where this guitar needed to shine in order to pass as a budget instrument would be to have a really good neck feel and sort of fret ends being clean and everything like that, and I would say it definitely passes. This guitar would far surpass a Squier, which is the same price or more, and would actually, in my opinion, surpass a Fender. And some people are probably going to hate me for saying that, but I'm not a big fan of Fender's fretwork in the last few years. The actual size of the neck is good. I mean, this is one thing that you're going to get on the fact that an actual guitarist designed this. It's not like he just signed off on it, I will say. You can tell that a guitarist designed this neck because it has some chunk to it. I mean, it's literally heavier than the body, and you can see that it's got, well, it's kind of hard with this perspective of camera, but it's got some good girth to the neck right here. It's not crazy huge like a big fat Les Paul neck, but it has a lot of room to work. I will say that. That I really do like about this, and it's got a pretty good neck depth. Definitely not like what you would consider to be a shred neck, like a wizard neck or anything like that. This is an actual considerable neck, which bodes well for how this guitar might actually sound, because a ton of the tone of a guitar actually comes from the neck, how big it is, how stable it is, how it resonates, and all that kind of stuff. So despite the Sycamore body, which I really don't have a good reference point for, I'm going to have to play this in order to formulate an opinion. This has a proper maple neck on it. It feels very playable, and in that sense, I would say so far I'm impressed. I mean, I really, I don't necessarily think I'm going to play this guitar very much. This is one of those things that I had to buy because I'm a sucker for a nice autograph. So, but I will give it a review because I know a lot of people are interested in this and how it would play and sound. And I have to say, first impressions, my hopes are a lot higher than they were when I actually ordered it. So, if you like this video, don't forget to share it and subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you guys next time.